ready for the next lesson. We're going to do lesson 2.5 on page 93. So open that up in your books. And this is teaching you how to figure out an expression using variables. And then once you've established that, then you could solve the equations or solve the expressions. And sometimes it takes 2 steps, not just the 1 step that we were working in the last lesson. So let's look at example 1. It says writing expressions with 2 operations. We're going to define our variable and write an algebraic expression. So they give you an example, 1a. 5 years more than 3 times your age. We're going to let a be our variable. That's going to mean age in years. We don't know our age. And it says 5 years more than 3 times your age. All I did was I wrote a mathematical sentence using numbers and letters in place of words. 5 more than 3 times your age. All right, so that now this is an expression. We'll try it again. B, 7 centimeters less than twice the span of your hand. So we're going to let X be the span of your hand. That's the first thing you want to do is figure out what your variable means. All right, it says 7 centimeters than twice the span of your hand. So twice the span of your hand would be 2x. And then since it's 7 centimeters less, we're going to subtract 7 from that. That's an expression. And we used a variable to write our expression. All we're doing is creating word problems, and we're using the letters and the numbers to solve problems. And all it is solving riddles. You don't need to be afraid of it. It can be very fun, very satisfying when you solve it. All right. C, 10 people fewer than half the population of your town. Or let P be the population of your town. All right, and it says half of your population, 10 people fewer. Excuse me. This could also be written P over 2, which is half of P, half the population. Half times P, or P over 2, take away 10. And that's the expression. We're using a variable. That's the letter. What does the P represent? It represents the population of your town. All right, that's expression. All right, look at the check understanding 1. Define a variable and write an algebraic expression for 2 slices fewer than 1/3 of a pizza. All right, we don't know how many slices there are in the pizza, but we're going to let P be the total number of slices of the pizza. All right, and it says we've eaten 2 slices fewer than 1/3 of the pizza. So 1/3 of the pizza minus 2. Now again, this could be P over 3. It means the same thing. 1/3 times P is the same as P over 3. Take away 2. That's the expression. So when you're reading a word problem, you need to write out the sentence with numbers and letters. And if you use a letter, you got to figure out what that letter represents. All right, next page. Example 2, bowling. It says on weekday afternoons, a local bowling alley offers a special. Each bowling game costs $2.50 and the shoe rental is $1.25. Write an expression for the total cost. All right, so we don't know how many games we're going to play. So we're going to let N be the number of games we play. That represents number. Each game costs $2.50 or 2.5. times however many number of games we play, plus the $1.25 shoe rental. And we only pay that once because you only rent 1 pair of shoes for the whole day, no matter how many games you play. All right, now we have our expression. We've made the variable, we've defined it, that means the number of games, and we've written out the expression using numbers and letters in place of words when we're writing out a sentence there. Now it says, later on it tells you, you play 5 games. Now they told us what N means. N is 5. So we've got 2.5 times 5. They told us what N is. And then we add $1.25. So we're going to have to multiply 2.5 times 5, $12.50, plus $1.25. $13.75 is how much you spend going bowling that day. All right, we'll try it again. Let's look at 2A. It says art supplies cost 79 cents for each marker and $1.25 for each poster board. Write an expression for the total cost of supplies, which includes markers and one poster board. All right, the mystery is they didn't tell us how many markers we bought. So we're going to make M our variable. That'll mean the number of markers. So 79 cents times however many markers there are, plus the $1.25 poster board. Now we have our expression. All right. Now B says, the second part of that problem is now they told you what M is. They said, evaluate your expression for 7 markers. All right, now they told us what M represents. M represents 7. So we're going to do 79 cents times 7, and then we'll add our $1.25. All right, what is 0.79 times 7? 49, 50, 51. And we put the decimal here. It's going to be $5.53 plus the extra $1.25 for the poster board. Your total cost is $6.78. Now B is a little different. It says, what expression would you use if you needed 1 marker and a bunch of poster board? This time they don't tell us how many poster boards we're buying, but we do know we get 1 marker. Plus, let's make P the variable for poster boards, however many there are, the numbers of them. $1.25 times P, however many there are. Well then, the second part of that problem is now evaluate the expression for 7 poster boards. All right, so now it's telling us that P is 7. So I'm going to put a 7 in for P. So now we can multiply $1.25 times 7. 14, 17, 8. So it's $8.75 for the poster boards plus 1 marker, 79 cents. Now our total cost is $9.54. That's the answer. So you see what we did was we figured out what the variable is, we defined it, and then we wrote out our expression using words and numbers. Or using letters and numbers. All right, the next section is using number sense to solve 2-step equations. I'll give you an example. Let's suppose your grandmother sends you 5 games for your birthday. The games all have the same weight. The box she mails them in weighs 8 ounces. The total weight is 48 ounces. All right, so we don't know how much each game weighs. We just know that there are 5 games. So I'm going to say G will be the weight, probably in ounces, of each game. Now there are 5 games, so it's going to be 5G. 5 games plus the box itself is 8 ounces. All right. And it tells us the total is 48. All right, we want to find out what 1 game weighs. Now this is going to be 2 steps. The goal is to get G by itself. We want to solve for G. To get G by itself, we need to subtract 8 first. Of course, whatever we do to this side, we have to do to this side. 8 minus 8, of course, is going to be 0. 48 minus 8 is going to be 40. What are we left with? 5G equals 40. Now to get G by itself, we divide both sides by 5. G equals 8. So each game weighs 8 ounces as well. That's the box. That's the answer. So we did 2 steps. First we had to subtract, then we had to divide. Let's look at example 3. solve 5g plus 8. Oh, we just did that one. Sorry, well, let's look at the check understanding 3a. 3m plus 9 equals 21. So this is check understanding 3a. 2 steps. First, we need to subtract both sides. I'm going to subtract both sides by 9. That means this side is going to be 12 equals 3m. Second step is to divide. Whatever we do to this side, we have to do to this side. All right, m equals 4. And that's that we've just solved the equation. We had an expression, we even had an equal sign, and we had a number. Now we could figure out what m is by solving the mystery.